So the other day, I talked about how Acacia, a former mommy vlogger, decided to stop showing her kids online this year. This comes after multiple cancellations for stealing from other creators, being accused of neglecting her children, not taking care of her pets. There's been a lot of things when it comes to Acacia that the public has not liked, which is why she took a long time away from social media and only recently returned and wiped all of her social media accounts of anything related to her kids, and has been trying to lay super low and out of trouble. And honestly, I will say that it was working for her for a hot minute there. I mean, I felt like she was really staying out of trouble, no one was talking about her, and people were starting to praise her for protecting her kids, and found it strange that there were those few that were asking about her kids or judging her new posts, saying that it didn't look like she was a mom, asking her where her kids were. Because if you look at her Instagram, it really, like, you can't even tell that she has kids. And that's something that she is purposely doing, because she explains it all in a TikTok, saying that, you know, she's only letting the internet see what she curates because she didn't want the judgment.
Listen to me very carefully. If you don't see anything about my kids, that means I'm doing a terrific job. I love hearing that. I love it. That means you don't get an ounce. You don't get a sliver. You don't even get to see the tiniest, littlest part, because I don't want you to. So, that means I'm winning. So thanks for reminding me. I love it. Again, I've talked about it before, but what I put on the internet is what I'm allowing people to criticize, and therefore, a drawing in the background, you can't criticize it. Their clothing, can't criticize it. My custody schedule, you can't criticize it. So it's not on the internet.
And honestly, like I said, I thought she was staying out of trouble until a video surfaced this week of Acacia at the park with her kids. And yeah, normally I would think filming someone with their kids is a little creepy and uncalled for, but this video is effing crazy, you guys, because they videoed the fact that her baby was on top of the car. Like, I just can't even begin to, you know, describe the situation other than just the baby is on top of the car, and there's no occasion to be found anywhere near the vehicle with the baby on the car. The person filming didn't even know of Acacia and was filming her baby on the car just for the pure fact that there was a freaking baby on top of the car and no parent seemingly around. I mean, truly, if anyone were to see that, they would probably pull out their video camera and film it too, because what the heck kind of sighting is that? Like, the only time a baby can be doing some sort of crazy stunt like that alone is when we're talking about baby Jack from the Incredibles movies, because other than that, there's no literal way, there's no excuse. Like, there's just no excuse. So the video went around and photos also surfaced confirming that it was Acacia at the park and that was her car. I saw on Twitter that someone posted to Reddit in the Eugene, Oregon thread. That's where this video was found. Someone said, "Is this the new norm for Gen Z moms?" And the caption read, "My friend was at a park playing with her kids and she sent me a snap of some kid climbing on top of a van while his mom had walked off into the woods and left her 3 kids alone. She felt so bad for the kids since I guess the mom just laid on a blanket the whole time, taking selfies and ignoring her kids, calling her to come play. Is this what our society is coming to? I'm just appalled. She said the kids looked dirty and the little boy had a full diaper with no pants on. I guess when the mom left and walked into the woods, she didn't say a word to any of the kids and left her baby on the blanket, which was close to the road. That's when the little boy climbed on top of the van and the oldest little girl ran into the woods to get her mom. After the mom ripped the little boy off the roof roughly, she went straight back to being on her phone, ignoring her kids. Has anyone else witnessed like this? Makes me think Gen Alpha is screwed." Apparently, the post was made at the beginning of the month, which would be July 9th, and Acacia has posts on her Instagram highlights, and from July 9th, she is in the woods, and she's also playing video games in the woods. So people are like, okay, great. When her baby was on top of the car, this is when she walked into the woods to play video games. Like, what? More was included in the post, like photos of Acacia leaving her daughter alone on a blanket, and it just raised way more red flags for people. They're just like, what is going on? Just could not believe this. And I couldn't believe it either, you guys, because truly, I had made that video the other day thinking, wow, Acacia has really stayed out of trouble and she's been not posting her kids, and it seemed all good. To be honest, it did. Now, I mean, this is bringing me back to the comments under the post where people were like, her not showing the kids, it like worries me for the kids. They're like, we can't see what's going on anymore, and we're like worried about what's happening behind closed doors. And at first, when I would see those comments, I would just be like, oh, like we're just like not entitled to see other people's kids, which we're not. But it's like, if these are the things that are going on, it's scary. Like, it's scary to think about. Like, why is the baby on the car, and why are you walking away into the woods to play video games and post about playing video games on your Instagram? I just feel like anytime I see her Instagram, I just assume like it's just not her custody day or something, because she just is off in La La Land. But maybe it's off in La La Land when the kids are around, which is sad, but like what the heck? Someone ended up sharing more from the Eugene Reddit thread where they explained the situation some more, saying, I've never heard of her. I didn't know we had influencers in Eugene. Yeah, I was just appalled and had to post somewhere. My friend who took the video was really distraught over it. She started recording as another mom called the cops, but they never came because the mom came back. I would have posted in the Mom Eugene Facebook group, but it would have gotten taken down for mom shaming or some, I'll have to look this girl up, thanks. And honestly, I don't even really think that this is mom shaming. Like, I just don't. I really don't consider this. I think this is just people that are concerned. People that are concerned, and for good reason. Because sometimes mom shaming, it's over something ridiculous. But this, I don't even think it's like mom shaming. Like, we're not mom shaming her. We're concerned. We're like, what happened, girl? Like, what's the explanation for this? The whole thing is obviously just such a mess, and it's crazy that someone just randomly saw something like this happen and it ended up being Acacia, especially when she's been trying to stay out of trouble. And you'd think or hope that things were good, but the accusations against her and her parenting still very much stand following this new information. Like, this is just insane, and I truly cannot believe this. And you know it's bad because the person that videoed her didn't even know who she was. Like, it's not like the person just saw that it was Acacia at the park and was just like filming. You know it's even worse when it's a stranger, like someone that didn't even know Acacia is filming because they know the situation is bad. It's not just some Acacia hater that is trying to put her on blast on the internet. Obviously, it's still bad, like the video still looks bad, but in her mind, I feel like maybe she would just feel like, oh, these people hate me, like these people want to attack me, they're judging me. But no, this is a stranger. This is someone who doesn't even know you have a social media following, and they are the ones thinking that you did something wrong. But anyway, the video I posted the other day, I certainly did not know about any of this before posting it, and it's actually funny how at the time of me editing that, things were looking good for her, and now, well, throw that all out the window because this horrible video from the park, you guys, like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that some people thought that I was making that video in support of her, because what the heck? I don't know how anyone could watch that video and be like, yeah, that's great. That's good. The good stuff that's happening at that park right there. But people have said so much in the past about her parenting, and you would think that it would spark some change in not letting people be under the impression that she could be neglectful, but it seems as if she can't help the accusations even if she's keeping her kids private. People will see regardless. Now, at first, Acacia didn't directly address the video coming out. She posted on her Instagram story opening up about things that have been going on in her personal life, saying, "Trigger warning, DA. I'm not really here to explain or convince anyone where I've been mentally for the past 6 or so months, but I know that staying completely quiet doesn't work either. I've been dealing with ongoing DA due to addiction for years now. I thought after my separation it would have died down or go away completely, but it's since only gotten worse. I have long passed my breaking point and it was a struggle day to day to stay alive. I entered a constant state of disassociation all while having no help. I was trying to manage it all on my own. A few weeks ago, I finally reached out for help, and now I just wish I had done it sooner. I worked with doctors and social workers, and I'm getting set up with programs and medication that help support me while it's still active and how to move forward after so I can show up and be there for the people that need me. Giving up is not an option, never will be. I understand that people won't fully grasp the situation and people's opinions of me are already formed. I don't have the capacity currently to try or even want to change them, but this is for those who are also fighting the same demons. There are programs out there to help. There are communities dedicated to supporting you. Help is available. And as far for content creation, I will be slowing down for a bit while I get back on my feet, but I will never stop creating and trying to spread joy. I am here to stay." And she said, "See you soon." In the comment section of her Instagram, she clarified that DA was for domestic abuse. Some were wondering if it stood for drug abuse, so they were not sure. She clarified in the comments that it was domestic abuse. A few days later, she ended up posting 3 posts on TikTok talking about the video and a lot more going on in her personal life.
There was a video that went around that someone took of me and my kiddos at the park where my youngest was climbing on top of a car. And I've been on the internet an extremely long time, where I know that the internet loves to take stuff like that and then also play the game of telephone and add more to it, take stuff away, ignore certain parts of it, or just fabricate more and more as the story gets told. Things like I had left them completely unattended for an extended period of time, taking photos, taking selfies, playing video games. People had to come retrieve me from the forest to help my son down from the car. Just all of these like extra fabrications that weren't true. So I'd like to just come on and just shed some light on what actually occurred. I had mentioned on my Instagram that I've been dealing with domestic abuse and domestic violence for several years now, but since my separation, it has gotten progressively worse week by week. That week specifically when the video was filmed was probably one of the worst weeks of my life in terms of domestic violence. That was one of the worst weeks of my life. And I had been continuing to ask for help from people close to me. I had asked for help from people in my life over and over. Nobody was helping. I was doing it all alone, and I had said that so many times that I was in an unsafe environment and nobody was listening. So in that video, I had stepped away, had a little cry at the edge of the tree line where I could see all 3 of my children, and then I noticed Callie started going for the car, and that's when I started walking back. Could not hold it together in that moment anymore. I knew that I needed to step away because I have cried in front of my children so often recently that like I've started to like pull back from doing that. And so I step away because I could not hold it together anymore, and I was not going to cry in front of the whole park nor in front of my kids. So I stepped to the tree line where I knew that I could have a second but also keep an eye on everybody. Once I saw Callie was on the car, I started walking back. Brinley also noticed and came to me at the same exact time. I was already on my way. I removed Callie from their car immediately and sat back down on the blanket. Nobody was not being watched. I was not like gallivanting around a forest, taking selfies or anything like that. It was just a really hard week. And I was doing everything that I could without the help that I so desperately was asking for. Since that video, which is about 4 weeks old, I knew I could no longer rely on the people close to me. And so I have reached out for help through other avenues. I am working closely with a social worker, Department of Human Services. If you don't know what DHS is, it's basically like CPS, but I've been working very closely with her to get help. And she has been the most supportive person in my life recently and has changed my life. I have removed myself and I'm now more in a safe environment because of her, and I'm doing so much better, even though it's so much harder, and I am gonna keep going. Where I'm at, since that video have become, not since that video, but like since that time of my life, 4 weeks ago or 5, however long ago it was. Honestly, time is an illusion to me at this point. I have become so much more present. I have been getting so much more help. I have been not afraid to ask and reach out to people. I have set so many new boundaries that have kept me so much safer. And yeah, I'm really proud of myself. It, had gotten to a point that I feel like I shouldn't have let it get it to. I just know that I will never put myself in a position like that again. or my babies.
So there is clearly a lot that is coming out about Acacia. There is a lot that she is trying to share with people right now, but that is all she has said right now. It's truly been a crazy couple of days with this news coming out about her. And like I said, I just kind of can't believe it because for a good amount of time there was not much being said about her. But as of right now, that's what's going on. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.